Hey, this is Thunder. Doing a rare video today. I'm not doing regular videos anymore. If you see me, you're lucky. Okay. If you get to see me, just kidding. The light here is kind of subdued on one side and kind of revealing on the other. I kind of like this lighting. I'm not real hip on trying to make things perfect anymore. Doesn't really matter to me, except sometimes I feel like I have to come on and talk about shit. And I basically want to talk about the Gaza-Israeli fiasco. I can't believe people. You know, I see videos. I've seen videos of people in New York screaming and crying about the murderous Netanyahu and the illicit Israel, saying, level them, level Gaza, take them all out, glass it over, bomb them to hell, and all this stuff. All these brilliant, lucid thinking American punks, okay? And the reason I say punks is the video I saw was a bunch of young guys spouting off about how, and the rhetoric that you hear from the government is just as bad. Yeah, go in, let's start a war with Iran, and so here we are with the Palestinian, Arab, and Jews problem, which has been going on for, 70 years? See, what most people don't understand is that the Jews, stole that land from the Arabs, and it was stolen back in, I'd say around 1948. And the UN was complicit because they're the ones that gave the unwashed and, let's say, vagabond Jews that came in on a freighter after World War II, didn't have any place to go. So what did they do? They awarded them some land that already belonged to somebody else. And that somebody else is Arabs, or we now call them Palestinians, or we might call them Hamas, which is a supposed quote-unquote terrorist division. Now, when they took the land over, the Jews, they pushed the Arabs all into one little sliver called Gaza. It's about 141 square miles, maybe less, with millions of people pushed in there. There's no way to get out. It's been basically a concentration camp for decades. You can't get in and you can't get out unless you get permission by the gatekeepers, the prisoner, the guards, who are the Gestapo Israeli. And I say Gestapo, they should be ashamed of themselves now, what's going on. Here they're constantly whining and wailing, the Jews, whining the Zionists, whining and wailing about the Holocaust, and you better never forget the fucking Holocaust and all that stuff, okay? They're constantly whining and wailing about that, calling people to task. Yeah, genocide, the Jews in the concentration camps, the chambers, the gas chambers. Then what do? They turn right around and declare war on innocent people because of a Hamas attack. Make no mistake about it, these people that attacked Hamas were at their wits' end. Incidentally, did you know that Israel created Hamas, that Israel funded Hamas way back when, in the Yasser Arafat days? Did you know that? And they did it so that there would be a opposition to the PLO and Yasser Arafat. There would be another cog in the wheel or whatever. So people that go around, that are going around right now saying how bad it was for... What if you were locked in a concentration camp, 141 square miles, houses all pushed together, millions of people, your electricity was always controlled by your guards, the wardens, the Gestapo, and your food and your water was non-potable, in other words, non-drinkable. You can wash in it, but it would have to be boiled. And this has been going on for decades, people. Peep hole. Peep through the hole. This is all turned around. This is all, we're rooting for people that want to commit genocide on the men, women, and children because one of their militant organizations are freedom fighters. They're mostly basically freedom fighters, not terrorists. You know who the terrorists are the Jews that sit there murdering innocent kids with sniper rifles, and if they see them near the border or this, the settlement, the settlers in there that attack kids and do brutal things to them, burn them alive. And you go into Gaza and you see a bunch of kids, and you'll find a bunch of kids without limbs. Okay. I don't want to hear this whining and crying and, about Israel, okay? They're murderous thugs. Netanyahu is a criminal. He's a murderous thug. Even his own people have been demonstrating against him. Now, does this mean that I don't like Jews? No, it doesn't mean that at all. Let's put that in as a caveat, in case anybody wants to come in here and accuse me of anti-Semitism. Fuck you. I have no problem with the Jewish people. It's the government, and it's the ones in control. It's the thugs. It's the murderous thugs, just like we have in America, murderous thugs. No conscience. See, what Israel wants to do right now by going in, and I'm really anxious to see if they really do. They're already bombing the fuck out of everybody. They're killing thousands of kids and women and innocents, okay? That right there is a war crime. It's a war crime. By all conventions, it's a war crime. Let me repeat that, war crime. But people don't care about war crimes anymore. They don't care about war crimes. They don't care about any crime that they commit. The powers to be, the people in charge, the Blinkens and the Newlands and the Netanyahus and the murderous pigs. Remember George Orwell's Animal Farm? Murderous pigs. First they take the land, then they put the people that they took the land from on a reservation, just like they did with the Indians in America. Put them on a reservation, only they locked them in, they couldn't get out. They controlled their water, electricity, and food. They've starved them, they've bombed them for years and years and years, and you expect they're not going to fucking uprise somehow and try to get out of that shit? Wake up! Wake up! Quit waving the Israeli, just like you did the Ukrainian flag, and we're down with it, man. We know what's going on. You don't know shit. You don't know history. And here's another thing. You don't think this was a planned operation, an inside job, cooked up to get attention off of Ukraine? Jesus, Ukraine just disappeared off the news when this happened. Ukraine just disappeared off the news. Don't even hear about it anymore. Ukraine, what's that? Russia, what's that? Why the big shift here from attention from one thing to another? Well, I'll tell you why. That's exactly what they wanted. Because they're losing their ass in Ukraine. And all the money that they put in there, the billions of dollars, is lost. And guess what? Some of those rockets that Hamas used and some of the weapons probably came from the black market in Ukraine, or even that, or leftover weapons in Afghanistan. This is the real truth about what's going on over there. And, there's a lot of people out there. There's a lot of young guys like Max Blumenthal that are on it. And other people that are on it that know what the score is. I'm tired of seeing, these vicious pigs, evil pigs, leaders in the Western countries here, preying upon innocent people with no consequences to their actions. No fucking consequences to their actions. Let's just kill, if they go in there, if Israel goes in there on a ground thing, they're going to lose their ass because they're not set up to fight that kind of war. That's house-to-house urban combat, baby. They ain't going to win that shit at all. All those Hamas people underground, they're going to lose their ass. I hope, if they do go in, I hope they do lose their ass. They're going to have so many casualties just from trying to get in that hellhole that they created. Well, this is going to be interesting, man. And, people like Lindsey Graham and shit are talking about, oh yeah, let's go in. The weapons really came from Iran. Let's go in and bomb Iran. Let's bomb the fuck out of Iran. Really? Let's attack. Let's have a third world war. Let's have a war with Iran. That's another place you don't want to go into. That's another place that you want to stay away from, because we don't have the ground troops or the ground machinery or the ground weapons or the military weapons to go in and fight a ground war. And that's exactly what you would have to do if you went into Iran, because you ain't going to take them out by bombing a few places. And then you got the rest of the Muslim nations, like Saudi Arabia and the Emirates, and you got Egypt and Lebanon and Syria. You got all them sitting there scratching their heads like, wait a minute, we can't let this lie if Israel goes in there with their supposed huge force and just. They're already leveling Gaza. They're already taking down hospitals, schools, mosques, with people in them, yes, innocents. What a crazy, fucked up world this is. mankind preying upon mankind like a bunch of wild beasts. This is the truth, what I'm telling you here. Let's recap. Israel stole the land years ago, decades ago, pushed the people on a little sliver of property, made a concentration camp out of it, and then they get pissed off because these people are trying to free themselves or free prisoners that are in the Israeli prisons. It's heart-rending to see them take out their little aggression and what do you call it, revenge on men, women, and children, innocents that are just living there and have lived there, and some of those kids never knew anything else but living in a situation which was a concentration camp, with Israel's constantly bombing them and constantly shooting across the border, and the settlers, the moronic settlers, and people in this country and around the world, well, not around the world knows better, but this country in the West and Western, oh yeah, this is another 9/11, this is 10 9/11s, and blah, bitty, blah, blah, blah. Are you kidding me? No more Ukraine for a while, and Ukraine is, Ukraine's, they're getting their asses kicked now because their offensive failed, and Russia's going in on their offensive now and taking critical towns. Could be over in weeks, actually. But you don't hear about that right now because that's a loss for the Democrats and the Biden administration, a loss, okay, that they don't want people to think about. So what do? They make another distraction and start another fucking war, putting us on the precipice. That's how they work, people. It gets old, man. It really gets old. I have a lot of compassion for mankind. Don't get me wrong. I'll sit here and swear up a storm. But I don't have a lot of compassion for killers. I don't have a lot of compassion for murderous thugs in suits and ties, okay? And why the billions of people or millions in this country and other countries, why they sit around and let a few fucking leaders wreak havoc on everybody, wreak havoc on the world. Why billions of people let a few people, I mean, we're talking about what, 1,000 people, even 50,000 people in the face of, the billions of 7 billion people, 8 billion people on the planet now? And all these 8 billion people are letting these little few people fuck up the earth and, talk about nuclear weapons and blowing shit up and taking kids out. And I mean, it's just gotten off the rails here. So anyway, I said my piece, and this will be, a video that is around for until it gets taken down. Or it shouldn't really, though. There's tons of other people saying the same shit. Tons of them. You might not say it as, they might say it a little bit nicer, but it doesn't matter. And it doesn't matter to me if they take this shit down either, because I'm pretty much done with YouTube. I'm just doing this for fun. I'm just doing this to vent, have a few minutes here to project my persona out there and make a statement, you know. And that'll be it. That's it. Incidentally, if you want to donate anything to the cause here, 'cause I need it, 'cause I'm poor, 'cause I need to get some things done, then you can go to spiritofcrazyhorse.com and donate. It's in the show notes. You go down the show notes and it says About in there. And you hit that and there it is. There's the links. Actually, there's a link for donations too, if you feel the urge. Incidentally, the weather is cooler here now, and it's going out. It's taken a while, though. It's taken its sweet time. It's still in the 80s, and here we are into October. But at least it's in the mornings and at night it's cool. Anyway, this is Thunder. I'm out of here.